Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another Sheffield United match preview. Today, we are going to be talking about Sheffield United versus Birmingham City at Bramall Lane at 3 p.m. Remember, if you're not going to the game and you absolutely adore our watch-alongs, we will have one at 2:30, courtesy of our transatlantic cousins, the Red Half of Sheffield. The Blades sit top after 10 games, picking up 23 points, which we all know is blooming fantastic. I just want to give a quick shout out to the Blades at Parrot Peel who sponsor the channel, especially Oliver Gwynn. Parrot Peel are a band with many Blades fans as members, and they've just brought out their new album, Stick or Twist. So there is a link in the description so you can listen to it. You can do whatever you need to do. You can enjoy yourself and Parrot Peel. Welcome to the stream. Ollie, how are you doing today, mate?
I'm great. Thank you very much, Nick. I'm back from my holidays. I've got metaphorically big shoes to fill on the preview today, but, realistically quite small shoes to fill sitting in for Hal. But yeah, I'm feeling good. I'm looking forward to the game. It's nice to have us coming back. I think I've missed watching United over the last couple of weeks because watching England is just not the same.
No, it's not. Saying that the Germany game was slightly better, but yeah, it's not like watching the Blades, is it? And actually, I've just thought, you've never done a match preview before, have you?
I haven't. This is my first one. First ever.
Yeah, I just did a cherry popping sound and no one wanted to hear that, especially if you've got earphones in. Anyway, let's talk about this preview. So I'm going to make myself bigger and I'm going to talk about the last game, which was Preston 0, Sheffield United 2. Myself and Hal went to this game with Super Bobby Harris. I'm not sure we've ever called him Super Bobby Harris, but Bob Harris, nevertheless, our left back from a few seasons ago. Absolute legend of a man. But if you want to hear more about that, go and see my match reaction from the Preston game. It wasn't an absolute classic. We took our chances really well when we got the opportunity. A couple of lovely bits of magic from Illiman and Sander got us over the line, and Wes made a couple of very nice sharp saves. And yeah, we picked up 3 lovely points that I don't think I expected us to pick up, Ollie, to be perfectly honest.
No, I didn't, to be honest. We've been talking about our away form for a while, it feels as though. So to get 2 wins on a row just coming into that international break feels really positive. And we all know that Preston don't concede goals. So for us to get 2, we gave them some excitement.
Yeah, they don't concede goals. And I might as well, whilst you're talking about that, little segue to the score predictions video. Unfortunately, Ollie wasn't on it this week, but make sure you go and check that out after this match preview because, yeah, I had some great times with my funky shirt all on my own. Anyway, let's get on and talk about...
It'll be a better video because I wasn't there, Nick, so I wouldn't worry about it. And that shirt is very jazzy. It's worth watching just for that.
Too jazzy?
Yeah.
Definitely. Too jazzy. Definitely too jazzy. Anyway, Ollie, let's talk about the last time out when Sheffield United played Birmingham City at Bramall Lane.
Yeah, so picture the scene. It's August 7, 2021. It's the first game of a new season. It's the first game with a new manager. We're feeling positive. We've got a big name manager in. It's our first game back after lockdown. We've got a full Bramall Lane and it's feeling great. So, of course, we were absolutely terrible and we lost 1-0. As happened a lot under Slav, we dominated the ball. I think we had around 75% possession. But my overarching memories of that game, and I have gone back just to check, make sure I've got a few bits right. But my overarching memory was we were quite lucky it only finished 1-0. We had Osborne starting at left back in a flat back 4. And they really exposed that lack of height. Maxime Collan scored early on, about 15 minutes in. He got over Osborne at the back, headed it across goal into the corner. He did the same thing again later on in the game, and we were quite fortunate that it was disallowed. We got away with one there. Scott Hogan had a great chance. He probably should have added to their lead, but put it over the bar. But United, I'm saying it as though we got hammered. We didn't. We had our own chances. Ollie Burke hit the post. He had a really good chance, a great through ball from Sander. And even watching it back now, more than 12 months later, we still should have had a penalty, which would have brought us back in the game and got us the 1-1 draw. It was a sign of things to come under Slav. it was very, very predictable. But there is an interesting stat for you, Nick. Last time Sheffield United beat Birmingham at Bramall Lane.
Ooh. I'm assuming from you saying that it was a long time ago, so I don't think I've got any chance of getting it. Go on.
2009 it was. Birmingham were promoted that year. United came third. And our winning goal was scored by the ultimate conspiracy theorist in David Cotterill. Great times.
Great times. Do you know what? I was just thinking that sounds bad, but actually we were in League One for quite a while, weren't we? So we're not just terrible, and it's not that we've gone over 10 years without beating them. Well, it's still true, but hopefully we sort out that hoodoo and we go and beat them tomorrow. That would be very, very nice. And really, the form guide is saying that we should win this game. And also, do you know who else said that we were going to win this game?
Go on.
Me and you.
Yes.
In our championship predictions video. So another shout out to the championship. I'm not going to do that anymore. I'm not going to do that. What I'm going to do instead, I'm going to talk about team news for a second, Ollie. And I've been listening to Heke quite a lot today, talk about players. And first of all, let's talk about players back. Let's get a little bit excited about players coming back, because I think we all saw this week, and if you didn't, I'm going to let you know now, Jayden Bogle and Billy Sharp both played 45 minutes for the under-23s. Adam Davis got the full 90 for the under-23s. One thing that I did say, I made a little bit of a joke on Twitter about Sadie Peck putting on the captain's armband in front of Billy Sharp, which probably was a little bit awkward, but it would have been really weird seeing a 36-year-old Billy Sharp be the captain for the under-23. So, yeah, I am all for Sadie Peck putting that captain's armband on, and hopefully Billy will be putting the full team's captain's armband on very soon, but I wouldn't risk him for a fair few weeks, especially with how well our strikers seem to be doing at the moment. But we'll get there. We'll talk about the team very soon. Players missing. First up, Heke wasn't very happy with the Bosnian national team as they blurted out that Anel Ahmedhodzic was injured, which Heke probably wouldn't have told anyone because it gives Birmingham that little bit of an edge, which they wouldn't have had otherwise. But he will definitely be injured for this game. So no Anel, which is a little bit gutting because we all know how good Anel's been already in a Sheffield United shirt. Apparently, it's going to be less than a month. The Bosnian FA or whoever they are said that it was going to be a month, if not 6 weeks. And Heke's like, no, it's going to be less than a month. But I'm wondering whether Heke's just saying that because he's annoyed at him. Max Lowe also out for around 10 weeks, but with the World Cup coming up, it's more like a month after now. So that will be nice to see him come back quicker than usual. That is one good thing about the World Cup being kind of when it is. So yeah, that's not too bad. But we've already got Jack Robinson, Koulibaly, John Fleck all out. Then we've got Ben Osborne, Enda Stevens, and Kieran Clark all being close. I say close, but earlier on, I saw that Kieran Clark and Enda Stevens are both having rescans, which does not sound good to me. But it looks like both of them are kind of getting back on the grass, but I don't think they want to push them too hard. Anyway, I'm going to pop up on screen what I think is going to be the team. And then I'm going to also pop up on screen an alternative team that I've put on Twitter earlier on. Now, I think this is going to be the team. We are really struggling on that left-hand side. So Reece Davis will go or stay, if you like, to left wing back. Without having Anel Ahmedhodzic playing, I think Bash will go to left centre back. I think that Karen Gordon will go to right centre back. And then I think it'll pretty much be the same as what we've been playing at home. However, the reason why I've done an alternate team is because Rhian Brewster has been absolutely fantastic for his country, scoring 2 goals, 1 very, very nice chip over the goalkeeper. So it wouldn't put it past him to play Brewster and McBurney up front. The reason why it looks like it's a 4-3-3 is because I couldn't fit Brewster and McBurney next to each other and die behind. So I would think if he was going to go 4 at the back, this is probably more likely going to be the team. But there's no way Heke is going to go 4 at the back. What do you think, Holly?
No, I really don't like United playing four at the back. I don't think it works very well. I think we've proven under Slav that I understand needs
No,
must.
but let me just jump in. I'm sorry, but the last time we saw us play with four at the back, like you say, was under Slav. This was before we got Morgan Gibbs White. This was before we got Iliman Ndiaye. This is before we started playing well and doing well attacking. Because, in my opinion, when we played five at the back one week, four at the back the next week, when we had five at the back, we were good at the back. When we played four at the back, we were better going forward, but we were terrible at the back. Under Heke, I think this is the best time against a slightly poorer team, I would say, to play four at the back, because that would add another string to our bow, in my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, look, Birmingham, you're right. They're not great. Going forwards, their stats aren't brilliant. They're 22nd for goals scored, 20 seconds for chance creation. So maybe if we're going to take a risk defensively, this is the kind of game we can do that in. But all of our players have been away on international duty. Not all, but a high majority.
A lot.
A lot of them. So they have no time to work on a new system playing forward at the back. If they've not already been training it, that feels like a really big risk to try and take it on. I know it's a risk. I know that Gordon, he's never let us down. He was always steady in that position without being outstanding. I know it's a lot of changes, but I just think it's safer for us to keep that system three at the back, and let's just at least try and, keep a bit of consistency there. Because if we're going to go to a four, I think we need more time to have trained it.
I think you're possibly right. What I will say, there's also Nixon Gomez and Andre Brooks. Andre Brooks scored an absolute wonder of a goal in training as well. So that was a very nice passage play, and then banged it in the bottom corner. So there's two options there. I don't actually know where Nixon Gomez plays, to be honest. Someone threw that out, and I don't want to sound stupid, so I'm just going to say I don't know where he plays. So if he plays up front, and I'm saying he should play left wing back, that's the reason why I've said it. Somebody said it on Twitter. But yeah, we'll have to see. I do think that he will go five at the back, and it'll probably be Kyron Gordon. Yeah. Anyway, let's move on to talk about Birmingham City. Birmingham. And who are you going to go for? What are you saying their team's going to be, and what's their team news, Ollie?
Yeah, so they're an interesting side. They do play a similar system to us. They play 3-5-2. They're generally a bit more pragmatic than we are. I think it's going to be about shutting us down and trying to hit on the break, rather than them really looking to come out and impress or to create any kind of excitement. But, they're on a decent run of form, and I think they're going to try and keep their team fairly consistent. On the injury front, they've got quite a few long-term. So Mark Roberts is out until after the World Cup. Gary Gardner's out until after the World Cup, I believe. They've got another one, and apologise to anybody listening for the pronunciation of this guy's name. I'm going to just say Placheta. I'm not going to try his first name, but I understand he's also out for quite long term. Behind that, you've got George Friend and Nico Gordon, who are both going to be out a little bit longer. They've got a couple who might be coming back. So Emmanuel Longello on loan from West Ham, who I think could be quite exciting. I know they do like him quite a bit. And Harley Dean, who obviously was at Wednesday last year, he's another one who might be fit for this game. But for the most part, I'm expecting them to stay the same. So I think it's a 3-5-2. I think they're going with John Ruddy in net, an excellent goalkeeper who's probably been their best player this season. Maxime Collan, who, as I said earlier, punished us at Bramall Lane last season, getting forward from that right centre-back position. Dion Sanderson, Austin Trusty, a man you can tell all your secrets to, eh, Nick? That's awful. I can only apologise to anybody watching. Jesus. Right wing back, I think they'll have Josh Williams. He had a really difficult game against Coventry, so he's the only one that I wasn't sure if he'd be coming out. I was talking to a Birmingham fan, Ryan Deeney. He's at Ryan Deeney 2194 on Twitter. That just took me a moment. I'd give him a follow because he's really good for Birmingham content. He's not sure if maybe that's where we'd see Longello come into the team now that he's fit, but I think I'd expect it to continue being Williams. Jordan Graham on the other side, and then a midfield two I think are really exciting. Christian Bielik and Tahith Chong. Chong was fantastic against us at Bramall Lane last season. I saw you just flash up that comment there, Nick, picking out how good Chong was at Bramall Lane last year. So if he's playing, he's a player for us to watch. I then think we'll have Janino Bakuna just a little bit further forward with a front two of Troy Deeney and Scott Hogan. Couple of names just to pick out off the bench. Hannibal on loan from Man U. If he comes on, he's one that United fans are probably going to remember because A, the hair, and B, he likes a tackle. And then Jude Bellingham's little brother, Job, I think we'd probably expect to see him get a little bit of time on the pitch as well.
Oh, I'm a little bit gutted there, Ollie. I thought you might have made a Hannibal joke, like he loves biting into a tackle or something like that, but you didn't go for it. You went for the trusty joke instead.
Yeah, I'd already done one shocker, and I thought if I commit to the Hannibal one, I can only do one or the other. We've been watching the Jeffrey Dahmer series on Netflix. I'm not ready to make those jokes yet. I'm not there.
It's a tough watch. It really is a tough watch.
It's difficult.
Let me just quickly... I would just quickly pop up members on screen as well. It's always nice to pop up on screen those that like to give us money. So big thank you to everybody that is running across the screen right now. Also, there we go. Stick or Twist, like I said earlier, Parrot Peel's new album, and NordVPN. You can get NordVPN by putting in nordvpn.com/TSUW for a hefty discount. Anyway, let's move on just for a second and talk about the referee. So he is Hairband Man, Darren Bond. I've got absolutely no stats. Ollie might in a second because Hal normally does that. But he did referee us against Swansea City away from home this season, and we scored a last-minute winner. And I do remember Kyle Norton coming across and trying to win a free kick, and the referee stood firm and said, "No, Kyle. No, Kyle, that is not a free kick," and we got 3 points from it. So thank you very much, Darren Bond, a.k.a. Hairband Man.
Yeah, indeed. I mean, his hairband situation does need to be resolved because I'm not sure that's a look of a referee. But he did do very well in that game. Sort of looking back over his stats so far this season, he's given out 31 yellow cards, but no reds and no pens. So, he's not doing anything controversial too much, it seems, beyond the haircut. But yeah, he did great for us in that last game. And I think, if he can let us have another 90th minute winner, I wouldn't complain too much.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I'd take that. However, I want it to be a 90th minute, fourth or fifth goal, though. Yeah. Not a 1-0. Not a 1-0. Anyway, score predictions, the things that we are best at, Ollie. What are you going to go for, pal?
Oh, it's a tricky one. And, with our injuries, with our reshuffled defence, it's hard to know quite exactly how we're going to attack this. They're going to press high. They're going to try and stop us playing the ball into Norwood, which is a real key part of our system. So winning that midfield battle is going to be key. I think the main thing about this is if United can score early. If we can score early, pull them out, I then think we can have our way with them, in all honesty. And so what we've got to do is really try and go for it and get in there early. I think our excellent form continues. I think United win. I'm going to go 3-0. I'm expecting a goal for Njai, and I think Brewster continues his excellent form when he comes off the bench.
Fantastic. I'm going to brush over what you've just said. And I'm going to go Sheffield United 2-0. I do think it's going to be slightly more difficult to the last few games that we've had, knowing that Birmingham are an up-and-down team. Scott Hogan's banging goals in at the moment as well. He's obviously going to want to score against Sheffield United, who he used to play for. We've got nothing against Scott Hogan either, because he scored a very, very important goal for us in our promotion push and success, you might say. I've gone for a 2-0. I don't know if I've just said that, but I'm going for a 2-0. And I think the Blades will just nick it. We're never good after international breaks as well, but I don't know whether that's just under Wilder or if that's going to kind of translate to Hecky's way. But hopefully we'll get the 3 points, because we are flying at the moment.
Yeah, exactly that. We're on great form. Let's break the hoodoo. Let's say, we are now going to be good after international breaks, and let's prove it early and not let that narrative continue any longer than it has to. Hopefully.
There we go. We've got a 4-2 there. We've also got a 2-0. We've got a 4-0. Everyone seems to be happy. We've got a 3-1 with a random owl on there. And then Kirk's said sorry about the owl, which good lad. We will let you off. What I'm going to do is quickly flash up on screen some player connections, Ollie. Do you want me to give you some, or do you want to give some?
Ooh, I'll give you a couple. Some that we've already referenced. So, we talked about Scott Hogan. We've had Jay Adams, who obviously went to them after playing for us. Obviously, they made good money off him, and I think we got a little bit of that. But it would have been nice to have had the full whack just come to us. But one who you might not have thought of, Nick. One who I don't think many people will have thought of. Jeff Horsfield.
Good one. I always think of him playing for West Brom. Always. That's the only team that I think of him playing for.
Completely agree. I always think about him at West Brom. And it's easy to forget that he played for United. He came on loan, immediately fell out with Warnock, but we'd already agreed to make the loan permanent at the end of the season. He then just spent the rest of his time with us out on loan.
There you go. There you go. And people popping them in the comments. So make sure you do it now. We've got Curtis Woodhouse. We've got Paul Pesky-Salido. We've got Bobby Hatton, which me and you remember really well, don't we, Ollie?
Yeah. Great. Yeah. Fantastic player.
Bobby Hatton, that really good goalkeeper, striker, right midfielder. Yeah.
Played great at left back.
Yeah. Hopefully we've got his position from all those that we just listed. Also, I'm going to throw one in there that we can never forget, which Birmingham City fans I probably don't think like as much. The Bounce Slayer.
Oh, yes.
The Bounce Slayer. Marcelo. John's throwing Marcelo in there. Oh, yes. I didn't think he played that much for Birmingham, to be fair, but very, very good, John. We like that. We're big fans of Marcelo. Anyway, I think we're done. Thank you very much, Ollie. Thank you very much for stepping in. Hal may be back in the future, but I think you're doing the Tuesday night one as well, aren't you?
Yes, yeah. If you'll have me,
Monday night one.
If I've not created too much chaos with a couple of them terrible jokes here, then yes, I would love to be back, Nick.
Good man. Anyway, thank you very much, everybody, for watching. Pop in the comments what you think the score's going to be, how you think the game's going to go, and we will see you after the game for a match reaction. See you next time.